What was funny to me about that tweet, his original tweet, was that he was right. He's not a hip hop artist.
I never really associated him to hip hop.
Let's just talk about the facts.
Insane.
The factually speaking, he was actually correct.
At the end of the day, people think they care about the apology. I don't care. It's over and done with. At that time, I cared. Now I don't care. We live in a microwave culture.
I think we're in a climate right now where conspiracy theories is in.
It is in.
It's
mainstream.
Bro, it used to be a thing where
it's mainstream.
They used to clown people. Man, you're just a conspiracy theory. That used to be like an insult.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to tell somebody they're stupid, man. So why you be believing shit. Now, conspiracy theories is kind of cool.
Yo. We are the Levi's Wise Guys. Check out the full podcast. Link below.
Yo. We are the Levi's Wise Guys. It's your boy Uchay. I got my boy
Deezy. But Sheezy is way too easy. From RGM Easy.
Yeah.
RGM? Big
yes,
RGM,
sir.
like you said.
Big RGM. Big RGM. See, the logo's big. See, big RGM.
Yeah, brother, I had to represent. I had to rep.
Absolutely.
Represent.
Welcome back to the Ill-Advised Wise Guys. This is another episode. What is this? 174.
174.
Shout out to the gang. We appreciate y'all for pulling up on us once again. And as always, if you're new, pull a lawn chair up. And if you've been here before, hey, stay even longer. We are the Ill-Advised Wise Guys. This is Leo. That's Q.
Yep.
We got some popcorn for y'all. You're going to need it. Hopefully you got some as well. We got a lot of topics to talk about. Actually, that's cap.
No,
we really
today.
only got 3.
Not today.
Yeah.
The music news has been stupid these
music
last couple
news
of days.
is so weak, and we're glad we trimmed it down for y'all. But before we get into what we're going to talk about on this episode, shout out to Elsie, man. Really, really big shout out to Elsie, not Elise, for pulling up on our last episode. She really dropped some jewels, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
She really,
sure.
she came with it.
Sure.
She came with it. Hopefully you guys check that episode out. If you didn't, make sure to tap in after you check this one out. Q, let's get into it. What you got?
Check out ratingsgamemusic.com.
Yeah.
For the best album reviews and song reviews on the planet, and movie reviews, by the way. Joker 2. I was actually very surprised. Will, our movie writer, who's amazing at what he does, he gave Joker 2 a bad, I think he gave it like a D. And he was one of the first, because we got invited. You know, this is how exclusive we are. We got invited to the early screening of Joker 2.
Big RGM.
So he saw it, right? And he reviewed it on Monday. And I saw it was a D. And I was like, yo, I really like Joker 1. Have you seen Joker 1?
Oh, yeah.
I
I've
love
seen
Joker
it.
1. I was surprised.
Joker 1's great.
And it was crazy because a week later, Rotten Tomatoes score came out and it aligned with Will. So, shout out, Will, Ratings Game Music, albums reviews, song reviews, movie reviews. We do it all.
Yeah, and the new site as well. It's still up, guys.
Yes, it is.
It's not broken.
Actually, I don't know. Can you say that confidently?
Look, it works. I think the link works, guys. Hey, if you haven't seen it, y'all make sure to go to ratingsgamemusic.com. We got a new layout, new design. Looks really good on mobile too.
It does.
I must say
it does. Yes, it does.
Maybe app coming soon in the future. Who knows, man?
I need money.
Yeah, that's true.
I need money.
On to the other topic. 0 skips, the mother effing playlist. Y'all know what time it is. That's the playlist where we highlight a lot of rising talent from around the world.
You got to be good at what you do.
The globe. You got to be skipless, right?
Skipless.
Your music has to be skipless, right? So that means your music has to be incredible. And I have to say, man, I come across a lot of songs that's really, really dope these days. Shout out to all the artists that's been submitting to us on every platform. Shout out to all the ones that's been hitting us in the comments too on Twitter. I see you. Y'all not all gonna make it, but it's cool. We appreciate the submission nonetheless. 0 skips, the mother effing playlist, streaming now only on Spotify. In stores now.
Please.
Let's go.
Please.
That one's for you.
Please.
That one's
stop.
for you, sir.
Stop it.
On this episode, we're going to be talking about J. Cole. Specifically, Trae The Truth recently came out and said that the fans is going to be real shocked and surprised at what they're going to hear on the Fall Off. I'm here for it, guys. But we're going to talk about what are our expectations. You know, we've been talking about Cole loosely, you know what I'm saying, over the last couple episodes. But I think it's time to talk about, like, what would you like to hear? What would y'all like to hear? We're going to get into that.
Okay.
Also, we're going to talk about conspiracy theories.
Here we go.
Oh, boy. Hey, y'all get y'all tinfoil hats on for that segment.
Here we go.
Because here's the thing. Isn't it funny how, like, conspiracy theories have become so regularly disseminated on social media? People are openly discussing theories that were once considered nuts.
Yeah.
But now it's become like fair game, it seems. We're going to talk about the current climate we are in. It's getting spooky. I have to say this.
Yes, it is.
And let's not mince words on that topic. There's certain names we got to discuss while talking about that. Diddy, Jay-Z, a lot of names floating around, guys. We're going to talk about it too. But first, oh boy. Hey, man, you know what? I'll start with love.
What, Diddy?
No, not brother love. That's brother love. That's a different type of love. Yo, a man who's been accused.
I was like, that's the second time.
Hey, listen, first and foremost, a man who's been accused of doing half the things Diddy's been accused of, he can no longer be associated with the word love. It's pure evil, actually.
It's pure evil.
I digress. Tommy RIchman. Man, we talked about Tommy RIchman recently. At least a couple episodes ago. I think it was just about whether he was the real deal or not. I specifically remember this topic. He just dropped a new album called COYOTE. I think 10 or 11 songs, something like that. Virginia native. It's very interesting. I don't think a lot of people even know that. Nonetheless, the album came out.
Woodbridge, Virginia.
Woodbridge specifically. Yeah, that's true.
Woodbridge.
That's true. Yeah. The bridge. No.
Hoodbridge.
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 Yes. There you go.
Hoodbridge.
It's so funny.
Virginia.
But yeah, the album came out. I thought it was pretty decent. And we can let's actually talk about the album in the midst of this discussion.
For sure.
But basically, Tommy RIchman's getting a lot of heat for his recent comments that he put up on Twitter saying, I'm not hip hop. I'm not a hip hop artist, excuse me. That's what he said verbatim. He got a lot of pushback though. DJ Hed chimed in. A bunch of people were chiming in. Shoot, I chimed in. Here's the most recent example of a white guy. What seems like denouncing hip hop. Did you see the comments?
I saw.
Did you see his comments?
I actually only saw his backtrack. That's all I saw.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But in general, let's just talk, man. First and foremost, like, what did you think of his album? I want to get that out the way before we get into like the heat.
That's fair.
What did you think of his album? Let's talk about music.
I really liked it. I mean,
yeah.
So when I first heard $1 Million Baby, right? Which is surprisingly not on the album. That and his second single, Devil Is Alive, both are not on the album, which was kind of surprising. But when I heard those two songs, my initial question was like, can he keep this up? Is this a gimmick? You know? And based on what I heard from the album, for him to do it in 11 songs and I didn't feel any type of way, I thought that was a huge accomplishment. I mean, because if you think about 4 Bats, right? I thought when you told me about 4 Bats, I didn't know who this guy was. But when I first heard the song, I was like, yo, this is a gimmick, and I'm not sure he can put this gimmick up for 12, 13 songs. 4 Bats album came out, and I felt like, I'm not really feeling him doing this for 15 songs.
Got it.
I didn't ever get that feeling from Tommy RIchman. So the album's good. Nice retro sounds in there. Gives me flashbacks to the 90s, early 2000s, the Neptunes up in there, vibes in there. Old school singing. I said on RGM, I said it's like Soul Train music. You know what I mean? Like, very, from an artistic standpoint, like that is a high level of artistry that he showed. So really like the album.
Okay.
You want to talk about the album?
Yeah. I mean, look, I'll echo that. I'll actually go a step further. I think this album is very good. It's excellent, actually. This album's excellent. Not just because I favored it, like I said this, and I'm gonna keep saying this because this is not normal. I saved 80%. I did the math. 70% of the songs of an album, I usually don't do that. I saved it to my like internal playlist.
Which is
that's ridiculous,
sacred,
bro.
It's a sacred. I know how sacred your library is. It's like mine.
No, it is.
Mine's is sacred.
I do not like songs.
Majority of the songs that come out, I do not save.
If I save it, this is me.
Yeah.
I love the joint, and I'm trying to tell you, for at least that's the impression it gave on me. But nonetheless, I agree with everything you said about the sound of it all, the retro feel. You know, it's very alternative R&B, alternative like pop. You know, there was. I'll go back even further, man, because yes, I heard the '90s sound, but it was more '70s, like late '70s. It was '80s vibe, damn near disco era type feel. You know. Love the melodies. He's a very unique artist, man. And I think
it's unique,
bro. I'm here for it.
I'm
never
here for
it,
heard
man.
Anything like that.
Yeah.
So here's my top 5 real quick.
Yeah,
and then we can cuss him out.
Yeah, for sure. Start with love. Remember, we starting with love.
Hey, man, I don't like that word no more.
I can't even say love anymore. That's crazy.
Thought You Were the One. I thought was the best song on the album.
Thought You Were the One was the
Thought
best.
You Were the One. I like that song. I really like that song. Whitney. I had.
Okay.
Give It All. I freaking love. I mean, but I love Give It All because the Nelly sample.
It's the nostalgia for you.
It samples Nelly's loving You. So Loving Me.
Bringing me back again.
Love that song, man. Letterman I thought was really good.
Love it.
They he sounds on that song. He sounds like Michael Jackson, and the Paco dude sounds like Justin Timberlake.
He definitely said, "Yo,
amazing.
I said that. He sound like Timberlake.
Sounds like
that
Justin
song sound like Justin. Yeah."
And then I got Green Therapy.
Okay.
And then I really liked Seems Like Time's Moving Forever. So those were my highlights. That top 5 and honorable mention.
I like that, man. I like those. For me, Seems Like Time Moves Forever. Vanity, I love Vanity. Green Therapy, Letterman. I'm gonna give you my top 8 because I selected 8. These are the 8.
The 8 that you said.
Letterman, Thought You Were the One.
Thought You Were the One.
Give It All. Temptations.
Temptations was good. Temptations was very good.
Come on, man.
Temptations was very good.
This joint got some heat on it. It got some heat. So anyway, if you guys haven't heard it, I think you should. I absolutely check it out, man. Tommy RIchman, very unique artist. Now let's get to the cussing out.
Which is sad.
Here's the thing, man. Like we've been here, guys. Like as a culture, as a community, y'all know. Anytime white people start talking about they're not hip hop, I don't give a damn who you are. It looks and sounds crazy, right? We've seen Post Malone recently, not over the years, I should say, get bashed for his takes on rap, and people like MGK have floated around, done genre bending things, kind of left hip hop. Although he's more of a lighter case because he don't really diss hip hop. But man, what was funny to me about that tweet, his original tweet, was that he was right. He's not a hip hop artist.
I never really associated him to hip hop.
Let's just talk about the facts.
Insane.
The factually speaking, he was actually correct.
Yeah,
but that wasn't the point. The point was not whether he was actually a hip hop artist or not. The point is, why do you feel the need to like quickly distance yourself from hip hop?
It's almost like a bad tag,
especially when hip hop, I could actually argue, is in part a product of his success. Now I say that because he has a hip hop aesthetic. Him being with Brent Faiyaz. Brent Faiyaz is a hip hop aesthetic. He's a hip hop artist. He signed to him. Not only that. Dude, radio stations, all the people who supported $1 Million Baby, a lot of them were hip-hop stations. You got placed, that song, Your Uprising was placed in a lot of hip-hop scenes and settings. So for you to come out and distance yourself and say, I'm not a hip-hop artist, is distasteful, although factually correct, is distasteful.
It is.
That's really what it is, you know? And I'm glad he walked it back, too, which I saw the tweet in real time, and I said to myself, this is not going to end well for him. And lo and behold, very quickly, he took that tweet down, issued the redaction, said, I meant to say I'm not just a hip-hop artist.
Yeah. No, I mean.
That was his correction.
Yeah.
Which was a good one, by the way.
Well, the thing is, he has hip-hop influences in his music. You can hear it. There's elements of hip-hop. There's elements of R&B. There's elements of pop.
Yes.
You know, and it's just all blended together. So, fine, right? You know, something that the Twitter and Instagram people don't do, mainly Twitter, they don't do, is they don't let you know the process of how they got to an opinion. Like, to me, my opinion on this almost changes every day. So one day when I hear a comment like that, I'm like, yo, man, why is he denouncing hip hop? You know, anytime it's hip hop, you know, people just want to run away from it. But then, you know, the next day I feel like, I mean, hip hop is not gatekept. If just because he doesn't want to consider himself a hip hop artist, so what business is that like to us, right? So to me, I depending on the day, I may feel a certain way about it. And today, I actually feel like defending him. Today. You know, we in the music world are, I feel, one of the biggest reasons why music is kind of at a low point right now is our love for music is starting to dwindle. People are starting to do music to get off, you know, like I was thinking about this, like majority of Drake's songs now is just addressing rumors, you know what I'm saying? Or majority of Drake's songs is talking about his lifestyle. I was like, when is the last time you heard a song where you're like, yo, they just made this song just to make a song that people want to listen to, as opposed to addressing something or talking about something that pertains to them, right? To me, Tommy RIchman strikes me as a music lover. Tommy RIchman strikes me as someone who grew up listening to all types of music, hip hop included. Mm-hmm. And so for the people that want to label him hip hop, which I know there's people out there, because there's a lot of people that don't take the time to understand what they're listening to. They just look at the person and say, oh, he must be a hip hop artist. Mm-hmm. He is simply saying, in my opinion, yo, like, I feel I am a Swiss Army knife. I do multiple things musically. I am not just a hip hop artist. This struck me as legit, literally. Don't take my words literally. I am not a hip hop artist. Like, that's just a literal thing. Now, when Post Malone said that, Post Malone was actually making hip hop music. He was collaborating with hip hop artists.
He made a song called White Iverson. He had braids.
He was engulfed in the culture. We don't know Tommy RIchman. I've not seen him. Actually, I've seen an interview of him. Seems like
he actually just did one with Zane Lowe. That was the first interview I seen with him. He seemed
like a regular, dagular dude. Like, he don't seem like he's trying to be something that he's not. And I think, you know, for the people that denounce hip hop, like Post Malone and you know, the Killer Roy is another one who just seems to be straddling the line. They were engulfed in that culture, in the mainstream culture. And so when they denounce hip hop, that looks weird and sounds weird. Tommy RIchman is off the bat just starting his career. So if he's telling you my stuff ain't hip hop, that's fine.
But
that's fine.
All right, let's
at least to me.
All right, look, I gotta say this. And how much more time we got? What we got?
0 seconds.
Jeez. I gotta say this, man. Look, you know, it's so interesting because one of the most basic yet effective questions that anyone can ask an up and coming artist when they're trying to get to know them is, how do you classify yourself? Are you a rapper or an artist? Mm-hmm. Right?
I always ask that too.
I mean, it's
remember back in the day I used to ask that.
You did.
Anytime we did interviews.
But I
was like, yo, what would you call yourself?
It's a basic question, yet it's potent in many aspects because such a simple question has so much like depth if you wanted to. Yeah. So at the end of the day, dude, Tommy RIchman's allowed to classify himself as whatever he wants to classify himself as. I personally don't care.
Yeah.
But that's not the point.
Yeah.
That I'm trying to make, me personally. Hip-hop. And I don't think that's the point most people are making who have an issue with him or with what he said. I think the biggest point is, bro, even though it's factually correct that you are not a hip-hop artist, because musically speaking, he is more R&B. He's more of a soul singer than
retro pop.
Anything. He's a pop. He's 10 things before I would consider him a rapper.
Yeah.
But you're still using hip hop elements in your music. Mm-hmm. You're still having a hip hop aesthetic.
But he didn't.
And so All I'm saying is
he didn't say hip hop sucks.
Look,
He
look,
didn't
but that
come
ain't-
out and say I don't want to be a hip hop.
He said
artist.
I'm not a
He
hip hop
said,
artist.
I'm not a fine. I mean,
So why did he walk it back and say I'm not just a hip hop artist?
why did he walk it back?
Yes.
I mean, because at the end of the day,
Because he knows that sounds
It
crazy.
sounded like an insult, right?
Because words matter.
Yeah, but at the end,
By the way, I don't think he had any harm, or I don't think he meant to do any malice. I want to be clear.
So what are we going to choose? What are we choosing to do? Are we choosing to look at how you perceived it, or are you choosing to take it literal, like what he said? I am choosing to perceive what he said literally. He is literally not a hip hop artist. And I took his words literal.
Fair enough. But at the end of the day, we know good and damn well.
This is
what we should start doing. We got to stop losing context. Because at the end of the day, this is bigger than Tommy RIchman.
It is
clear.
But here's the thing, too.
It's bigger, right? Like hold on real quick. This is more about the ongoing theme of white people, specifically white people coming into hip hop, benefiting from it. I mean, I'm not mad at anybody coming into hip hop. Coming to hip hop if you rock with it, it's cool. Like, but it's the ditching, it's the feeling like hip hop is being disregarded. But that I think is the bigger topic. That is a real one.
But there's a thin line. There's a thin line between evolution and ditching, right? Very thin line. A lot of people don't realize that.
Did Miley Cyrus ditch, or did she evolve?
That's at the end of the day, I think she ditched because she didn't start out that way.
Did Post Malone ditch, or did he evolve?
He ditched, right? Because, but at the end of the day, like everybody listening,
I think MGK evolved. By the way,
he evolved. I mean, at the end of the day, and MGK did something that works for him, right?
Right.
And Post Malone, listening to Post Malone make music, I got the feeling he is a very versatile, very strong artist that listened to all kinds of music growing up, right? A lot of times to get in the door, it is hip hop, I agree. But, there's two things I want to say. I know it's
we're kind of over, but it's cool.
Two things I'll say is this. I mean, number one, hip hop, it's almost like the NBA. Hip hop, the NBA, when somebody says something that you may not perceive as like you perceive as like that's kind of a slight, in hip hop or the NBA, black people get offended. Like I get offended. Like if somebody comes up to me and say I don't watch the NBA, I'm like I get kind of offended. I'm like, why don't you watch it? They don't play hard enough, or they don't play defense. It's to me, I'm like, yo, what you trying to say? Like black people lazy? Because it's just like the NBA gets associated to black people, right? It's almost like I feel like there's a racial undertone when people say the NBA players don't play defense. NBA players get paid too much. They cry too much. There's like a racial undertone because the NBA is a black league. Hip hop is a black genre. So like there's this racial undertone when somebody says, I don't like hip hop. I don't want to be hip hop. And I think we got to kind of let go of some of that when somebody is literally saying they're not a hip hop artist. We got to let go of some of that like attachment to it offending us as black people, because we're much more than hip hop. We're much more than NBA. You get what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
So, but there is cases like that need to be called out, like Post Malone. I love Post Malone, and I love how he transitioned. But it does need to be called out how like you came in braids, like gold teeth, all this stuff, and then next thing you know it, you're making a country song with Jelly Roll. Wow. Like, and and not only did you do that, but then you said, I'm not a hip hop artist. So that needs to be called out. But, another thing too is hip hop, I've been saying it, and I know people are not going to like this, but hip hop to me I know for some artists, they feel like hip hop is not, is basic level music making. A lot of people feel that way. I don't feel that way.
Don't get me started on that.
I don't feel that way.
Poor narrative.
But they're like, yo, hip hop is a great way to get into the door, but like in order to maximize my skills as a musician, I got to do other genres. And so I think that's how people look at hip hop. At the end of the day, that's something we got to accept as artists do not look at hip hop as something that you can maximize your skills in. Like, that's just the way people look at it. Do I agree with that? I think there's a lot of people that have shown that that's not necessarily true, but a lot of people feel that way.
I have way more thoughts, but it's cool. Like let's just
It's true though, right? Isn't that true? Right?
I mean, it's partially, but like it's so much deeper than that, but it's cool.
But next topic.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of hip hop, some people may call him Mr. Hip Hop, Johnny Hip Hop. J. Cole is in a pickle right now because I believe he's sliding his way into a beef that he probably doesn't even know is about to happen with Drake. And a lot of people are still not forgiving him for apologizing to Kendrick Lamar after he dropped that terrible diss record towards him called
7 Minute Drill.
7 Minute Drill. Thank you. But will that temper expectations for his new album, The Fall Off? It remains to be seen. But one person that is very optimistic about that album is Trae The Truth. If you guys recall, Trae The Truth, there was a homage track on Might Delete Later to Trae The Truth, kind of homage track. Trae The Truth.
Was fire. It was called like something in Ibiza. Trae The Truth in Ibiza.
Trae The Truth in Ibiza, yeah. Which I love. That's actually my favorite song from that album.
Well, it's one of my favorites.
It's 100% my favorite song from the album. Trae The Truth said that The Fall Off is going to surprise people. J. Cole's going to do a bunch of stuff in it, essentially, that's going to get people back on his side. So, with that being said, what expectations do you have for J. Cole? You are a huge J. Cole fan.
I'm J. Cole's
you destroyed him after he apologized.
As he should have.
But, he looks like, it seems like, if I were to guess, he's a little bit trending in a more of a favorable side to
Hey,
you.
look, I'll say this. You guys who trade stocks and all this other ish, you know what I'm saying, familiar with the stock market. I'm bullish. I'm bullish on my guy J. Cole moving forward with this The Fall Off project. Now look, I gotta say this because I think it just needs to be said. Let's just wear our hypothetical hat for the rest of this episode, because not just this topic, but the next one we talk about, it's all gonna be speculation. Get your tinfoil hat, conspiracy theories, bring them out right now. This is what we want to do. Now look, you know what I want to happen on The Fall Off? You know what I really want? First and foremost, number one, this album needs to be classic. Let's just get this out the way. He has been teasing The Fall Off since, if I'm not mistaken,
6 years.
KOD.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, he had the interlude. There was an interlude on that.
It's called The Fall Off. Yeah.
Is that what it?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
The Fall Off.
So that was what, 20? When did that come out? 2018, 2017, 2018. Yeah, I believe 2018 is KOD.
I'll get that information for you.
Yeah, I believe it's 2018. But the point is, this album needs to be classic for J. Cole for many reasons. Number one, because the anticipation has been unreal for all this time. Number two,
2018.
That's what I thought. Number two, he's coming off of what is considered a very, very black eye moment in his career with the apology tour that he went on. Huge misstep for Cole from a rapper's standpoint. A lot of people made the argument this is not that big a deal because he's not going to lose fans. It's Cole. He's great. What do you got? It's not that big a deal. I think that from a business standpoint, you guys are right. J. Cole put out an album. He's a big dog. He's going to sell. He's going to keep doing his Dreamville festival every year. People are still going to come out. He's going to maintain his level of success.
Yes.
But that is not the point that I've tried to make. That wasn't the point people who crucified him and criticized him for him apologizing are trying to make. We are talking about rapper, the sport of it all. J. Cole needs this album to be great. And here's what I really want. I want Kendrick Lamar to be on this album. I want Drake to be on the album.
Yeah, right.
It's not going to happen.
Good luck, buddy.
I do. What? How amazing. I think if there's anybody who can do it, it would be Cole. Think about it.
Both? Yeah.
Not on the same song. Hell no.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
no, I
But
know.
like just have an appearance of some sort. Cole, you guys tried to make the argument last episode, you and LC, that Cole is this lovable guy. He doesn't know what he's doing. Come on, let's just leave him like he don't mean harm. If that is true, his friends should know that about him, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means he should be able to mend this. He should be able to mend his problems with Drake, right? Right? Come on now.
Drake is probably don't trust nobody right now. So
Hey,
I mean,
but look, at the end of the day, I want him. With all that being said, I want him rapping like the rent is due. I want him rapping like he was rapping with Daylight. I want him rapping like he's been rapping on these features. Come with it. We need it. This album needs to be classic for him. But I'm bullish on it. I think he's gonna deliver. I do. I think he's gonna deliver. Yeah. Yeah. Let me get that. Let's get that out the way.
Well,
what do you think though?
first and foremost,
I'm excited. I'm excited about Cole.
Let me get this out the way, bro.
Go ahead.
I can't stand.
Go ahead.
I mean, shout out Trae The Truth, by the way. Shout out Trae The Truth, but I cannot stand when people say this album's gonna have stuff that you ain't never seen before. Oh my God, it's gonna be unbelievable. I've heard that 1,000,000 times, and majority of the time it's not. Remember they said.
All he really said. Let's quote him correctly. All
Uh-huh.
he really said was, "This album's gonna surprise some folks."
Okay,
That's all he said.
How? We already know who
cares?
I've already seen J. Cole at his highest. What the hell is J. Cole gonna do to surprise anybody? I remember the reason I bring this up is that, Drake, I forgot, people were saying, yo, Drake has a feature on For All the Dogs that's gonna shock the world. Like, oh my God, the industry people are like so surprised he got this person. Who the hell was it? Who was it? Was it Sade?
That's a great question.
Like,
I do remember
who
that
was
talk. I
it
do remember that talk.
was
Yeah.
on that album that shocked the world. So
It was sexy, the sexy red
at the end of the day,
feature.
what is it?
It was a sexy red feature.
Like,
Come on,
I don't
man.
get it. But
Yeah.
what the hell J. Cole gonna do on this album that's gonna shock the world? He's gonna be rapping at a high level. I don't think he gets much higher than what he was doing on Might Delete Later. What is he gonna be doing? What? Would it be the features?
That's high level rap though.
Yeah, I mean,
Wait.
We've
Hold
heard
on.
high level rap.
Wait, hang on.
from J. Cole.
What we're not gonna do
All right.
is diminish J. Cole's level of rapping
I've
that he's been
never-
doing. So,
what did I
so
say
no,
to
no. I'm
diminish?
saying we're not gonna diminish and act like that's not amazing rapping.
It is, but he said shock the world.
I understand that.
So when you say shock, dude, the
okay,
definition
fine.
of shock
Okay.
the world is like, wow, I didn't know he can do that.
Okay, fine.
right?
Fine,
What the
fine.
hell is he gonna do that I didn't know he can do that?
Understood. Now, again, remember, you got to wear your tinfoil hat.
Okay.
What do you think
Okay.
will happen?
So that's right. That's where I'm going.
Transition, yes.
What would shock me from this album, right, is two things: the guest appearances, right? So
Okay.
if J. Cole goes on there and gets, I don't really care. Drake and Kendrick, I don't care. Actually, you know what?
You're tripping.
I would
Dude, what?
actually care if J. Cole did this album all by himself.
He's not going to do that.
Production mainly by him, right? Production mainly by him.
Hell no.
All rapping
Hell
with him.
no. We don't want that.
All
Cole.
rapping with him.
Cole, we don't-
Just him.
We don't want.
I don't want to hear him do no features with Future. I don't want to hear no ASAP Rock. I don't want to hear nothing. Just him. That would make me very happy. It wouldn't shock me, but I would be like, yo, wow, like this is a very Cole-esque mixtape Cole. Like that's not a thing, right? Mixtape Cole, but I remember mixtape Cole.
Mixtape Cole's definitely a
Friday
thing.
Night
What you talking
Lights
about?
and all
Yeah.
that stuff, right? That would be amazing. Wouldn't shock me.
I would even argue the
Now-
off season felt like a
Now,
mixtape. But
if
anyway.
Cole now another thing that would shock me, right, is if this is what will shock me, and this is what we need. If Cole somehow ties together all these themes, he's like, yo, hey man, like y'all didn't know I was building up for the fall off all the way back then in like let's say
Yeah.
for what was the joint that's
2014 Forest Hills.
yeah, like not even after that,
2015.
the other one, the boring, very boring album.
Oh my god. For your eyes.
For
only.
Your Eyes Only. He's like, I was building up from For Your Eyes Only, and it ties to this, and it ties to that, and KOD was this and that, and the fall off brings it all together. You look back, and you're like, yo, when he said this in such and such, when he said this on Folding Clothes, he was actually referring to this, blah, blah, blah. That would shock me, right? That everything tied together.
We know that's gonna happen. Though.
So, that to me would shock me. But in terms of rapping, I don't need to see anything There's nothing J. Cole can do from a rapping standpoint that will shock me at this point. J. Cole, his level of rapping, particularly on Might Delete Later, particularly on Pie with Daylight, right? That's the highest level of Cole rapping. So
yeah, and I like where you went, because here's the thing, you know, at the end of the day, like I said before, I'm not going for none of this narrative. The run that J. Cole has been on lyrically in the last 2, 3 years, 4 years, where he's been going on feature runs and he's been putting up performances like he did on Pie, putting up performances like he did on Secret Recipe with Yachty, putting up all these performances where he's rapping at such a high level. This needs to be remembered when it's all said and done. I know we're living in the midst of it. I know we're all distracted. I know he apologized. I know all of these things happen, guys. But the rapping is so high level. This needs to be remembered. That's number one.
I don't need that.
No, but that's not even the point. From a surprising standpoint, I do think Trae The Truth, if I were to guess, I think he was referring to features. He has to, because when people start talking about, oh, man, something's going to shock you, they usually talking about guest features. And so I'm curious. I think from a shock, if you're going to use that word, surprise, shock, it got to be somebody we are not expecting. And so that's why I think the Kendrick angle, the Drake angle, to me, that makes sense.
I wouldn't care. I mean, personally, I wouldn't care.
I would love that.
I wouldn't care if Drake or Kendrick.
But here's the thing,
there.
Conceptually though, I'm very curious to know how he will pull off the conceptual part of this album.
That's exactly
right. When Cole first introduced this idea of the fall off, it was so unbelievable. It was like, wait, what do you mean? What do you mean the fall? What do you mean are you retiring? Like, what are you trying to do here? And so Cole looks like a dude who would retire.
Yeah.
He talks like a dude who, when he's done and he's no longer fulfilled with what he's doing, he looked like a dude who would move on gracefully too.
Didn't he say this was probably his he claims
it was his last album.
Going to be his last album.
He claims
right, to fall, and fine.
So do you believe him? How about that?
I don't believe him.
I don't believe rappers when they say that. Period.
I don't believe him. He's not 40 yet. But it's
interesting.
So the Cool, right? So Lupe Fiasco on Food and Liquor actually had a song called The Cool, right?
Yep.
And then I guess he brought it back on the second album, and he explained what The Cool was, and it's a dead person that came back, and blah 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 blah. But in terms of conceptually tying things together, I've never seen it done. Maybe J. Cole will be the first person to do it, possibly. But if he's able to pull that off, like from a conceptual standpoint, hey, brother, because at the end of the day, people think they care about the apology. I don't care. It's over and done with. At that time, I cared. Now I don't care. We live in a microwave culture where it's next up. I don't care. So
it's like I say, the only people who really care are older people in rap who care about the art and the sport. Those are the only people who are going to remember it. Exactly. Like truly actually use it as something like a notcher. You know what I'm saying? Those are the only people. Exactly. Otherwise, it don't really matter.
Exactly.
I'll still remember that shit.
Exactly.
Though. It hurt me. Yeah. Next topic.
And the last
topic. Do people care too much about conspiracy theories these days?
Whoa.
Yeah, man. You guys,
brother.
listen. Hey, listen. We can't escape.
Amazing, brother.
We can't escape a good conspiracy theory. Listen, I'm for conspiracy. Make conspiracy theories great again. I'm here for them. They make for good movies.
Theorist.
They make for good, just regular stories, bro. How many conspiracy theories have we heard about aliens?
Which I love.
They're amazing, are they not?
They are amazing. Yeah.
They're amazing when it doesn't have anything to do with a real person.
And Bigfoot. What about that one? Those suck.
Bigfoot. Bigfoot was like the OG one that everybody cared about.
That one sucks.
Nobody cares about Bigfoot.
That one sucks.
But no, do people care too much about conspiracy theories, man? Jaguar Wright, it's so interesting because she is somebody who I guess has been in the music industry for such a long time. Has been, I guess, ousted in some respects of the industry. Blackballed, if you will, right? And she's recently been making a lot of waves in the media not just getting highlighted on TikTok and taken by content creators, people making content about what she's saying, but this is the first time I've seen her on a credible, what I would quote unquote consider a credible journalistic news platform in Piers Morgan. She recently sat down with Piers Morgan. Y'all probably know who Piers Morgan is, British writer, news editor, whatever you want to call it. He's been in the industry for such a long time. But nonetheless, he interviewed her about Diddy's involvement, Jay-Z's involvement in this whole saga, right? All the dark stuff that's been going on in the industry. Obviously, if you guys want to watch that in full, go check it out. But, like, this is interesting because I'm like, so she was crazy before. Everyone called her that. She talked about Diddy, what he was doing for years. Mm-hmm. Everyone called her crazy. Then recently, Diddy gets indicted. Mm-hmm. Now everybody's, oh, shit, like, she might have been on to something. But still, she's crazy. Why are we listening to her? Now she's on mainstream publications getting credible sort of backing, in a sense, and being platformed. Do you feel like conspiracy theories have kind of taken a step far? Like we're at an era where people are,
it's mainstream now.
Yeah, like it's mainstream conspiracy theories is kind of hip and swaggy. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
are we there?
You know what's funny? You used the word credible. I don't think anything is credible anymore. For real. I don't think anything is credible. And Donald Trump, the whole like MAGA Trump, era that we're living in, where one thing that Trump did that changed the world, and I think changed the world for better, was Trump let people know, like, yo, y'all ain't credible. Like, fake news, right? He made that, and you start to see how biased CNN is. Prior to this, I never noticed CNN was biased. CNN? Fox, of course, everybody knew Fox was biased. We all knew but CNN, biased. It was not so obvious until, Donald Trump came into office, and you're like, yo, whoa, like, CNN is actually really biased, right?
Okay.
So, I just really don't believe there's any credible news sources these days. So her going to Piers Morgan, I wouldn't call that credible per se. However,
you don't think Piers Morgan's a credible news
he's
editor?
Biased. He's very biased.
Okay, let's define credible. What does credible mean?
So my definition of credible is, someone who is strictly there to cover news, to inform people about news. I think Piers Morgan's show informs people of news, but with his biased take and his biased opinions, which now doesn't make it as credible to me, right?
So I define it differently. So as I eat popcorn,
which I'm gonna look it up, by the way. But go ahead.
No, please, because this is actually a good discussion. To me, what I heard you say is you're speaking to the objectivity of it all. I do think news should be objective as much as possible, but when I use the word credible, it means a platform or a person who has displayed a certain level of verified sources, like who's able to confirm details, right, of what they're talking about. Of course, they're going to infuse their opinion, but like you still need to have facts. At a certain point to kind of base your opinion on.
Yeah, for sure.
So to me, I think news should be as credible as possible. They should strive for objectivity, but obviously we know different sources are biased, but that doesn't make them non-credible. That's what I'm trying to. You have the definition?
So the definition is able to be believed, so convincing, right? So okay. To me. But that's just a whole nother topic, right? For me, the reason I brought the credible part up was because, I think a lot of these people have vendettas. We talked about this on the phone. Vengeance, vendettas, jealousy. All this is getting thrown into these situations. And that's why, we always hear about the same people, right? When it comes to news and these stories, we always hear about the same people circulating: Kanye West, Diddy, Jay-Z, right? It's always the same people.
It's the holy
it's
trinity.
Always
dog.
the same people. Drake, Kendrick. I didn't know all these rumors about Kendrick until Drake mentioned it, right?
Okay.
Nobody's really bringing up anything else about Kendrick. Kendrick this, who is Dave Free, dog? Who is Dave Free?
That's Kendrick's man.
I know, but who is he? How come nobody has done a deep dive on Dave Free? How come I've never heard that? Drake made some rumors and nobody talks about Dave Free, right?
Behind the scenes, PG guy. Yeah,
I get it. But not to say anything like Kendrick's doing anything wrong or Dave Free. But it seems like certain people get passes.
Understood.
But we circulate the same people and we start to throw conspiracy theories out there. Now Diddy is proven, I guess there's camera footage, which by the way we talked about that. Diddy, why do you have camera
that's a whole separate
why are
discussion.
you running around with camera footage?
Nah, that's insane.
Do you watch true crime?
Bro, that's crazy.
Okay, but Diddy,
Stop trying to rationalize crime.
right? Diddy,
you know what I'm saying?
Diddy, we now know that Diddy, he did what he did. But I think the one that's kind of crazy is the Jay-Z one.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's is just all conspiracy theories.
Yo, look, let me say this, man. I'm gonna cut you off real quick.
Go ahead, no, please.
Because what's happening to me, what I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not here to further rumors or fuel conspiracy theories of any sort. We're just here to discuss and ask questions. That's all we're doing.
Why you sound like
we're here to ask questions.
Cops.
Yeah, it's like Vlad, bro. That's how Vlad be in the
Exactly.
listen, like I just want to ask questions.
We just want to know. Tell us how do you feel? We just want to know.
No,
so
because you know what
where did he go?
No, what I noticed is, especially when people be tiptoeing around this Jay-Z topic, and I don't like it.
Yes.
Now, I'm not here to say that Jay-Z is guilty of stuff, but if someone, if we continuously keep hearing about Jay-Z's involvement in some stuff that you probably would go to jail for. I'm not trying to say he's actually doing this stuff, but it's like at a certain point, two things. Number one, why do we keep hearing his name? Right? That's one. And number two,
that's what I'm saying. It's
and why hasn't he sued these people that keep speaking on his name?
Strange.
Isn't it kind of weird to you?
It's strange. That's what I say. It's strange. It's a strange situation.
I hope it's not true. I hope all of this stuff that she and
because
all these people are accusing him of. I hope it's not true.
There is literally Diddy stuff that came out on Diddy. Like, aside from Jay-Z, I think he stabbed the guys, Lance. Aside from that, I've not heard Jay-Z in the news for like literal something he did. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously the elevator situation, Solange beat him up, but
she didn't beat him up,
or she punched him, or
yo,
whatever she did. Whatever, I can't remember anymore.
Yeah.
We saw that,
of course,
and then guess what? What did we do with that? Peeled all kinds of information. Oh, he must have been cheating. Oh, he must have stole money.
It ain't even bro. They made him and his wife capitalized
just
off
like,
that.
And they capitalized, right? And so, that's the strange one. But to me, I think it's. I was telling you this on the phone the other day. I think it's just like people really don't like these people. Deep down. Like, I think people really don't like Jay-Z for whatever reason. Like, even before this. Like, Jay-Z's name was just thrown out there like, yo, hey, man, he ain't the best. Jay-Z, they don't play Jay-Z in Atlanta. Like, why is that a narrative? I'm just going rogue on this topic.
It's cool.
Why is this a narrative? Why Jay-Z? They don't play LL Cool J in Atlanta either.
True.
How come nobody's saying that?
Hey, they did it in 1982. Yo, in 82, bro, Cool J was on the radio, bro. But anyway,
but
anyway. But at the end, but what's here? Also, we were talking about. You're right. We had this convo, and it's like when someone has given
wronged
a reason. Now, I ain't even talking about Jaguar Wright's a whole different situation. People think she's mentally ill. I don't freaking know. Maybe she is. Maybe she isn't. I don't freaking know. That ain't even the point. Although if she is mentally ill, why the hell we listen to a mentally ill person? This kind of goes back to how people would talk about Kanye. Remember all this like this discussion around, yo, is Kanye sick? Why are we listening? Why are we taking what Kanye's saying seriously?
A lot of the stuff he said was like, you know,
it's like, yeah,
it
but
came
it's
out to be like, yo, hey, there's some truth.
a
to
lot
it,
of the stuff
right?
and those clips are circulating
He
online.
said Diddy's a fed.
Yes.
Don't talk to me, effing fed. I was like, what is this guy talking about? But
It's and that's and that's the point of this topic, right? Conspiracy theories. The reason why people call them conspiracy is they're so outrageous. It's something that either you don't have proof of, or it's hard for you to believe. And the fact of the matter is, a lot of stuff going on with Diddy, a lot of what Jay-Z has been accused of, all this, it's so hard to believe. When Tory Lanez went to jail, and then now the star witness gets flipped, and then now the dad comes out on camera at
Rock Nation.
Rock Nation is at the heart of this.
Yeah.
Rock Nation and Jay-Z has been getting so much flack throughout the years, and it's like, where there's smoke, is there fire? I'm just here to ask that. I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to accuse them and say they did something, but it's like, if many people keep saying certain things, does that make the conspiracy have more quote-unquote credit now? Validity. It doesn't make it more believable, right? We will never know.
Yeah.
Because we don't have the answers.
Like I
but
said, I mean,
I do think we're in a climate right now where conspiracy theories is in.
it is in.
It used
it's
to,
mainstream.
bro. It used to be a thing where
it's mainstream.
They used to clown people. Man, you're just a conspiracy. That used to be like an insult.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to tell somebody they're stupid, man. So why you be believing shit? Now, conspiracy theories is kind of cool.
Yes, conspiracy theories is normal.
Yeah.
I think you're weird if you don't have conspiracy theories.
Yo, isn't that crazy?
In your arsenal. I got conspiracy theories out the wazoo, dog.
Bruh.
I've thrown so many. Some I'm not gonna
Bruh.
say any on camera. There's
I
some,
will never
there's
say
some
half
I've
of the ones.
argued. Some that came to light, I've argued. You know what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, and one of the things that I tell myself, I can't consume myself in the news because it'll kind of drive you crazy, is that you'll never get the full answers to these questions. Ever. Like I said, the only Diddy situation, he put it on camera. He was putting things in writing. He was texting. Like, Diddy was moving like, I don't know why he was doing that stuff. But, a lot of these, you'll never know. It's just stories that, he said, she said, and you just never know. And so if you consume yourself in it, you're just going to drive yourself crazy because you're never going to get a full answer that, for all we know, Jaguar Wright could be telling 100% the truth.
Yeah.
She might be, probably, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Possibly.
you'll never know. So, like, why super duper consume yourself in it?
But beyond the consuming yourself of it, this ain't gonna stop. And
It's not.
at the rate in which she is doing press, and I was very I used the word credible, and we can debate on what the meaning and all that other stuff, but I think it's actually like crazy for Piers Morgan to attach himself to this type of rhetoric.
Yeah.
This is not going to end well.
You know what I'm going
Bro,
to say?
this ain't going to end well, dog.
You know.
I got to be real clear about that.
You know what I'm going to say?
What's up?
And this probably going to end it. You know why conspiracy theories are in? Is that we, more than ever in today's world, conspiracy theories are being validated. Like, back in the day, it was like a conspiracy theory would happen. You would never, ever get the validation. Like, you're like, oh, yeah, I have this conspiracy theory that this happened, but you never know, right? But think about it. Like, there was conspiracy theories about Diddy. Diddy's now in jail. Conspiracy theories about R. Kelly. R. Kelly's now in jail. Conspiracy theories about
aliens.
Exactly.
They declassified. They declassified
exactly.
some documents.
9/11. Like, all this stuff
it.
is starting to be validated. So, I think that now drives people like, see, I told you, I was right. And what I'm going to say, which is going to scare you or should scare people, music fans, anybody fans, if you would have told me 5 years ago, Young Thug would be caught with a RICO, if you would have told me he'll be in jail, Tory Lanez would be in jail, if you would have told me that, if you would have told me Diddy, Mr. Bad Boy, clean, Diddy was in music shows and everybody was friend with Diddy. Diddy's in jail. Don't look like he's coming out. R. Kelly. in the next 5 years, there's going to be more people that are going to be in jail that's going to shock you. Way more people, because I do believe there's FBI and all these people that are sitting on a bunch of information out there on some of your favorite rappers, singers, actors, entertainers.
Of course.
And in the next 5 years, don't be surprised if even more people are in jail that are high profile. So this is an interesting time, man.
It's a very scary, interesting time. And again, I like that you said conspiracy theories are being validated. And the last thing I'll say is, at the start of this year, what happened in media? That was a explosion. It was the Cat Williams interview.
Yep.
Cat Williams, when the joint came out, was explosive. People were like, what is he talking? Like, this sounds nuts, bro. Like, what the hell is going on? Why are you saying this? Like, conspiracy theory, right? Yep. This is what people sort of attach to him. And to see some of his claims come to fruition, in other words, be validated, is normalizing this type of rhetoric and people putting stuff at the wall, you're throwing stuff out there and seeing what sticks, because it's definitely waking up a bunch of people. There's probably some people who were super silent and never thought they would even be taken seriously. Yeah. Because they would be called nuts and crazy and all this other stuff.
I mean,
but we're definitely in an era where people are like, they want to prove these theories right.
I mean,
or at least see if there's something there, you know?
It's you go back in time, like, for instance, that Cat Williams, he mentioned the Martin, fat suit, the women dressed up as women thing.
Yeah.
And then what started circulating was old videos. Particularly Brandon T. Jackson, where Brandon T. Jackson was like, I changed, my life just changed after that. People go back and look at these things that people were seeing 3-4 years ago and like, oh, like Orlando Brown said something about Diddy. And it was like, at the time, everybody was like, yeah, Orlando Brown crazy. Like, that dude's just crazy. And it's like, these people that we thought were quote unquote crazy aren't. Well, they probably still crazy.
I mean, two things can be true. Two things can be true, right?
Completely wrong.
Like, yo, I'm sorry, Kanye's crazy, guys.
I mean, Kanye.
I mean, there's something wrong.
But you know the funny thing, Kanye's always been a little crazy.
I will agree. Two things can be true,
and
right?
The thing is, I think if you told Kanye you're crazy, he'll probably be like, yeah, I agree, dog. I agree.
Yeah, now let's end the show. If you guys made it this far, man, shout out to y'all, man. Y'all are the real GOATs. Real MVPs, man. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button on your way out. This is the Ill-Advised Wise Guys. Man, y'all make sure to let us know which of these were your favorite topics. Matter of fact, what's your favorite conspiracy theory? That's what I want to know. But let's get to it, man. As always, if you're giving advice, just make sure that thing is ill.
Yes, sir.